Second JB5s Mystery Challenge, Day 3 Technique. This is Day 3 of the second JB5s Mystery Challenge. Today we are experimenting with some distressing techniques, cutting and pasting. Distress is the key word today.
Hi there. We are ready to work on Day 3 of the second JB5 Mystery Challenge. Now, Day 3, we're going to do several things, but the first thing that I want you to do is get a little water. I have mine in this spray bottle. And we're going to try something brave.
Heads up! What I'm going to show you may not work if you collage the text on the back of your page down with a glue stick. It will probably work if you used a PVA type glue or a gel medium, Mod Podge, or similar acrylic-based medium. If you used a glue stick to collage with on the back, you may want to watch this or just try a section first in the negative area as shown as a test.
I have to tell you the truth. I've never done this before. So we're going to see if it will work on my page. First, right in this area of my A, or in this area, in an area of your letter that is in a negative space, not in your border, but in an area like if you have a C in here, in this portion of the C or a B or some area of your letter that is not the positive area of the letter. I want you to spray just a little water. If you don't have a mister or a sprayer, maybe just take a little water with a sponge and rub it on there. I want you to see if you can release the top layer of your paper. And that's what I'm doing here, hopefully. Now, if you rub through it, we can always collage on the back again. So far, I haven't rubbed through it. I put this down with a gel medium. So I'm thinking that I have a layer of glue between the two papers. But can you see how I'm lifting up my top layer of my composition page? This paper is not a thick paper. This is similar to the technique that you see on transfers. Now this is testing in here. I'm just testing because I really, truthfully, have never done this before. And I'm just testing to see if I can lift up a little of that notebook paper. And it appears that I can. Now I don't want to rub through too hard because I don't want to rub a hole in my dictionary paper or my paper that I collaged on the back. So I'm pretty happy that that's going to work. So I'm going to continue doing this. Happy that's going to work. Now I'm not going to work in this area, but I am going to work in some just spots of the positive area of my letter, because what I'm getting at is removing distressing parts of this letter by removing the top layer of this composition paper in spots. Okay, I am pretty happy with that. I can start to see areas in here where I've rubbed away, where that text shows. What I want to do is get more of the dictionary page showing through with the faint lines of the composition page still on there. I don't know if that makes much sense, but it's a very distressed technique. Can you see where I have distressed areas of this page in here? Now this is something I just wanted to try. If you used a glue stick to attach your page to the back, which you should have collaged it probably down with a wet glue, but some people use a glue stick. If you used the glue stick, I would not try this technique, because a glue stick probably would not give you the protection that I think that this. I used a matte medium, and let me tell you, it provided a nice protective coat on my paper. So this is basically a distressing technique. I did not do that over here. I did not want to distress this side of the page. So now what we're going to do is see how that effect that it has between the paper that's still left on there and the text below. And I think that I'm going to do that with some distress medium. I think that I'm going to use Faded Jeans. And here again, I'm going to test it out in a negative area, and you might want to do the same thing. You could use a watercolor. I would use a water-based pigment. Use something that water will move it. And let's see, I want to get a towel here. Oh yeah, I'm liking that. See how it's absorbed into the paper here, but really did not absorb onto the glue areas. I like that a lot. I think I will take my distress stain, and I think I will stain this entire letter. My page is fairly thin. Notice that I did not distress any of this area, but I distressed in here and in here on the positive areas, and where I distressed, it's thinner. The paper's thinner because it does not have, it only has one layer, but it allowed me to put my distress ink over there, and it formed a form of resist, that layer of matte medium below. Now, if you used a glue stick, I do not think this would work. You might want to skip this step and just go on. You might want to use a water-based ink or stain or watercolor and paint your letter a very light color. A very light color, because we're going to be doing more to this. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do, because this is very thin, I want this page to be a little bit more sturdy, especially in here. It's sturdy in here because it has a layer of text on the back and a layer of text on the front. This area is sturdy, but I need this area to be a little bit more sturdy. I'm going to take my clear gesso, and I'm going to gesso this. I'm going to give this an entire area a layer. Well, I'll even gesso this too. I want to build up some bulk on this page so it's not as fragile. And after this is dry, I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to put a layer of gesso on the back too. And that will just give it extra layer of thickness, a little bit more sturdiness to this page. my page is dry. I coated both sides with clear gesso. I'm really tempted to put some matte medium on this, but I don't think I will, because clear gesso you can work on. Gesso, you cannot see it because it's clear and it's transparent. It's a little toothy and rough. It isn't sandpaperish, but it is a little bit rough. And gesso you can work on. Gesso will receive your medium. A medium matte is an acrylic base, and it will tend to repel, as what we saw over in here. So I have a clear gesso over here. Now we're going to do something really brave. Remember, this is just a piece of paper. This is out of $1 composition book, a cheap composition book. Hopefully your text is cheap paper too. I tore mine out of a dictionary page. Yes, I have these scissors out for a reason. We're going to cut. We're not going to cut this. We're going to cut this area. We're going to cut this area. And we're going to cut around in here. So let's just get to it. You want to cut out the negative areas. Look at that. What fun is that? Now, what we're going to do next, we're not quite done with day 3. We are going to glue this area down on your second page. If you are working in your composition book and you want your page to be in your composition book, this is where you will take your page and put it in here and glue just this section down so that this section will fold up like this. This is a flip area. If you're not working in your composition book, take your second page. We haven't altered the second page yet. Take your second page and do the same thing. Glue this area down on this area. Try to get it as even as possible. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay, that's all we're going to do on day 3. We've done quite a bit on day 3. We tested out the distressing in the negative areas, and then when we found that it worked, we removed some of that negative area of the text so it will show underneath, and then we stained it with a water-based stain. We coated both sides with clear gesso, this side and this side with a clear gesso, so that it would give more strength to this paper, because this is going to be a flip like this. And then we cut out the negative shapes. This area, cut out all the negative shapes around your letter, except in the border area here, which we glued down to the base page. Okay? And we're going to do more on this area, and we're going to do more on this area on day 4. But this is where we are in day 3. Don't worry if you've got some, see, I've got that extra line in there. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of that. But we are done with day 3. I hope that you're enjoying this. I'm kind of learning things as I go too here. I will see you on the next page for the day 4 technique.